Hello everyone and welcome to another video diary blog on the channel. I'm Henry Higgins and it's been a couple of weeks since we've done one of these, so quite a few things have happened in and around my home and personal and work life. One of the most immediate things I hope you notice behind me here is the big shelving unit, which has had some figures moved around. There's also a short video up on the channel. Me and Josh did that yesterday. We moved some of the figures from the shelf into the studio room, and the Harley figures from the studio room, which you probably will have seen obviously in all the unboxing videos that we've done. Moved the Harley figures in here, put them on prominent display, and they will now be the background for video shot using the webcam here. The video that is on the channel also includes some images of the Harley figures, which you are now seeing while I'm monologuing here like I'm Conan O'Brien. We are obviously always in the lookout for more figures, Harley Quinn and otherwise. There are a few on there, but we'll talk about them in a bit. Other than that, I continue to work from home. However, with the COVID restrictions being reduced, vaccines on the up, including myself, who had my second shot of the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine a couple of weeks ago. So that is me. I am now immortal. I am immune to the COVID vaccine, but that doesn't mean I cannot and should not wear a mask in public places, because even though I have been vaccinated against it, I can still transmit it on to other people. So I need to be careful with that, and I need to follow the guidelines set out by whatever premises I am attending. This includes the restaurants and the cafes and the pubs that are now open again. Josh and I, to celebrate the cafes and the pubs being reopened, we went to the Wee Cafe, which is across the street, for our breakfast yesterday, and we went to the pub for a pub lunch today, simply because it's the first chance we've been able to do it in about 8 months, maybe even longer. So it was a big deal. Also, with the COVID vaccine and things reopening, that does lead into the cinemas being reopened as well, which, as anyone knows, I love my movies. I have been missing the cinema, and from May 17th in the UK, cinemas were allowed to reopen at a limited capacity. These will be reviewed, I believe they're going to be reviewed on a monthly basis, so it's a limited capacity for now, which may develop over time into, or it should develop over time into a higher capacity until they are pretty much at full capacity. Downside to that at the moment is the local cinema, the Gallery, which I have spoken about on the channel. It's a wonderful local cinema, 2-screen cinema, shows blockbusters, shows art house stuff, shows old stuff. As I mentioned before, I've seen things like The Usual Suspects and Jaws in the cinema for £1. It's fantastic. I got to see Halloween, the new one, on Halloween when it came out in 2018. So there's little things like that. That isn't reopening as of yet. They are going to be reviewing that in the first or the second week of June. However, there is a larger multiplex. It's a little further away, so it's a little bit more effort to get there. So if we need to, we will go to that one. And there is a raft of movies that are due to come out between now and the end of the year that we're going to talk about in another video. We're going to do a movie-centric video just listing the movies that we hope to see, Josh and I. Some of them will be 15 R-rated or higher, so Josh won't be able to see them. So it's going to be a mix of movies for me and him and movies just for myself. So look out for that video. We're just going to run through them and count them down with release dates. I believe there's about 14 movies there. I do have the list here, but I'm not going to give you anything away at the moment. You are going to have to tune into the actual movie video to find out what those films are. Some of them, for long-term viewers of the channel, it'll be very predictable what those movies are. I believe there'll be one or two curveballs in there though, so check it out when it's live. That will be some point during next week. I don't have a firm date on that, but some of the movies that I was hoping to see in the cinema, Spiral from the Book of Saw, I believe I'm going to have to find another way of watching that. I don't think that's going to be in the cinema when it opens here at the moment, just for practical reasons. So Spiral is definitely one that I'm going to have to view by other means. With the rest of the movies, it is really just going to depend on capacity and when they can open. Whether they're showing all these movies, because again, because they'll have limited capacity, they'll have limited screens perhaps. So it's something we need to have some patience for and look into. One movie we don't have to wait for is Army of the Dead. There was a reaction video on the channel for the trailer of Army of the Dead. Looked like it was going to be a phenomenal movie. Josh and I watched it yesterday. It was fantastic. Pretty gory, cliches left, right and centre, but a lot of cliche dodges as well. Some infuriating decisions for the right reasons, a couple of infuriating decisions for the wrong reasons, poor writing, various other things. But the effects are fantastic, the tone, the pace. There is a revelation in the midpoint of the movie, I'm not going to say what it is, that changes the entire context and concept of what's going on. Caught me for a loop. Josh, that was Josh's first proper horror movie. Well, I say proper horror movie, it depends on your definition of horror, but it was his first horror movie that he's watched, his first proper zombie movie. I'm still trying to work out whether he's going to be okay to watch Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's first movie, which is an interesting bookend for his career at the moment. He started with Dawn of the Dead, he's ended with Army of the Dead at the moment. There is a prequel of Army of the Dead that has been filmed, that'll be coming out soon, and there's a anime kind of like side quest movie coming out as well, which has the voice cast of most of the people in the live action movie. It kind of chronicles what the movie intimates the backstory of everyone. It kind of chronicles them again to the point at the beginning of Army of the Dead. If you haven't seen Army of the Dead though, I fully recommend it. 5-star movie. Completely off the wall at times. Brutal gore fest. Quietly touching in places as well. But definitely a film I would recommend you go and see. What else have I been up to? Well, play at home. PlayStation have a thing. They've done it a couple of times now. They've had various games during the quarantine, during the lockdowns, during the whole pandemic, where they have put up games either for free or at a very, very, very reduced price. And one of the games recently was Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, I'd played and completed Horizon Zero Dawn before. However, this was the complete edition, so it had the Frozen Wilds expansion, which I hadn't played. So, and it'd been a while since I'd played the original version, so a lot of it was fresh from the DLC, and a lot of the stuff in the original main game had been so far in the past, and it wasn't as fresh in my memory, so it was still a nice playthrough. I absolutely loved playing the game again. I loved going through it all. Luckily, I hadn't deleted my previous save for the game. I deleted the actual game file from my PS4, but I hadn't deleted the save file. So when I booted it up, I was already set for New Game Plus, so that's what I did, which gave me, I had the best weapons, the best armor, fully leveled up, although the expansion gives you another 10 levels, so I did that as well. And it's pretty much a breeze to go through the game. So I love story games, story-driven games. I'm very into the story. I like a challenge, but I prefer to go through a story, a long, winding story with revelations. And I forgot how much the end, the epilogue, not the post-credits thing, but the actual epilogue of what's going on, I forgot how much that affected me emotionally the first time, and it did the exact same thing the second time. Eyes wet, welling up, and if you've never played Horizon Zero Dawn, please go and do so. It's a wonderful game. The graphics engine is amazing. The setting is wonderful. The lore is expansive, but it takes you through the journey at a pace you can keep up with. It doesn't make you feel like you've missed out on something, and it's an expansive world. The machines in the game are wonderfully designed, the mechanics are fantastic, and I'm very much looking forward to the Forbidden West coming out. I believe it will be out early 2022. I don't know the exact date. I don't think it's going to be a 2021 release, but I'm very excited to get back into the world of Aloy and the Horizon team. But for now, Horizon Zero Dawn, if you haven't played it, I would hardly recommend you giving it a go. For me, games-wise, now that I've put that behind me, there's a number of games that I got free with the PlayStation Plus at the beginning of May. We're coming up for the June PlayStation Plus, so there'll be free games there as well. I have Battlefield 5 to work through, or there to play. I have Far Cry 4, which I've never really played, to give a go. Abzu is there as well, so there's a couple of games I can have a good run at. And then we'll see what PlayStation Plus for June comes up with. We'll probably find out about that Wednesday or Thursday of next week. They normally keep it. It's the Wednesday before the games would come out, which is the first Wednesday of every month. But normally with time zones and everything else, I don't find out till the Thursday. So we'll wait there. I'm rambling a bit now, so we'll call that conversation and we'll move on to what else do we have. Well, as you know, I'm a collector. I'm not the collector. More's the pity, because then the third movie would be happening. But I'm a collector, as you can see behind me here with these figures, the various figures you can see on that shelving there. Basically around the house there's figures everywhere. And we go, Josh and I, go to a store called B&M. They essentially sell everything, but they do figures also, and they normally do them at a really, really good price. And when I went to B&M recently, I got these little bad boys. As you can see here, we have V, who's like the player character from Cyberpunk, and we have this one, which is Johnny Silverhands, who is, as we all know, Keanu Reeves. And these two together were, oh, we can do that so you don't get blinded by the light. These two together, they were £13 each. Now they normally retail for $26.99. So to be able to get these, which are the deluxe edition from McFarlane Toys, it's the same like style range as the Batman figures that I've unboxed on the channel. Batman, the Batman Who Laughs, Batgirl, Nightwing, did the Green Arrow. There's a Batman in there I don't think I've opened yet also. So they're the same kind of thing. They have a lot of great articulation. I don't know whether to open these ones or not though. But yeah, if you like figures, if you like Cyberpunk, if you like Keanu Reeves, who doesn't, get yourself to B&M and pick up a 7-inch plastic copy of Keanu Reeves for £13. That, my friends, is a bargain. We also have our eyes on a few other figures, as you can imagine. One of them is an Ed 209 figure with realistic sound, to scale with the Robocop figure we got a couple months ago. So it's probably about 7 inches, 8 inches tall, depending how you obviously set the legs. But it's not available yet. It's on a pre-order. I've been waiting on it for a while. There's an image of it on the screen here you can see. And we're also waiting on 2 Harley Quinns from Beast Kingdom coming available. Once they are the priority, they're out in June or July, so there's money set aside for them. I'm very excited to get those figures. They're, from the looks of things, they're going to be the similar size to the Cyclops figure we got from Beast Kingdom. Similar layout, similar points of articulation. What I do like about them is it's like real clothing, which is a nice touch. I've mentioned it before, whenever you get a figure and there's real texture and clothing to them, they just look so much better than when the clothing is just kind of the moulded plastic on the legs. But the Harley Quinn figures and the Ed 209 are top of the list. However, there will always be room for more. If you have any suggestions for figures that you think would be great additions to the collection, be them in horror, movies in general, comic books, cartoons, video games, you've seen what's on the collection, you've seen it in various pictures and such, like, you know the kind of thing we like. So leave your suggestions in the comments below and we will definitely check them out. And before we go, this t-shirt that I'm wearing here is from the awesome Kate Nix and her merchandise collection. It's the QWERTY Ouija board, the Ouija board, however you wish to call it. It's a Ouija board, but it's QWERTY. I love this t-shirt. The material is fantastic. It feels great on. It's really soft. The design is really nice. It's long wearing. This has been washed dozens of times and it shows no sign of fading or coming off. Elements of it are meant to look like it's faded. It's supposed to be an old spooky Ouija board. You have this. You can get this as well as many other wonderful t-shirt designs. You can get face masks. You can get boot wings, tote bags, other little bits of merch, and there's always new merch coming out, including the designs that have been popping up while I've been talking away here at katenext.com. If you go there, you can click on the merchandise link and it will take you to the merchandise page. There are so many things there. You will find something that appeals to you, especially the social justice classes. I've got a Berserker one, but there's one there that will have your name on it. Not literally, unless your name is Paladin and things like that, but it will have your name on it. So check that out. And while you're there, why not check out Kate Nex's music at Bandcamp, katenext.bandcamp.com. Link in the description below for that, along with the merchandise stuff. And if you go there, you can get all her music, a luxury yacht's worth of fantastic tunes for the price of a basic wooden raft. That analogy makes sense in my head. It should make sense in some fashion for some of you, but basically it just means you can get an amazing discography, dozens and dozens of fantastic songs for less than 12 quid. I hardly recommend it. I downloaded the full catalogue and there are so many wonderful tunes on there, so many great songs, fantastic covers as well. You will not be disappointed if you go there. But time to bring this video to a close. Thank you very much for spending the time of your day with me on this blog, giving it a watch, giving it a listen. Stay tuned for other videos. Look out for the movies of 2021 still to come video. That'll be some point this week. Check out the Harley Quinn relocation program that got all the figures on there. Check out all the other videos on the channel in case you've missed them. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the little bell, and we'll see you again at some point in the future. Or is it someone else's past? Time is a concept best left alone. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Stay safe, wear a mask, look after yourself, look after each other. Goodbye.